Hello and welcome to this TopDown Engine tutorial. I'm Renaud from our mountains, and today I'm going to show you what the TopDown Engine is about and what it can do for you. I'm in the start screen scene right now, and if I press play over there, I'll be redirected to the level selection screen, which will allow me to pick from a number of demos that are included in this first version of the engine. I'm going to start with the Koala Dungeon one, which is my personal favorite. In it, I'm going to play as a tiny koala that can walk around a rather big dungeon, and I've got access to an inventory, so right now I've only picked an assault rifle and some ammo for it. I can switch to that weapon and I can aim in any direction that I want, which also allows me to shoot bullets. And here I have an enemy that is rather aggressive, so I'm gonna kill it. I can move its body around. There are traps in the dungeon, so if I walk here, I'm gonna get hurt. I can grab some coins, destroy stuff. And if I'm careful enough, I can grab another gun. As you can see, the enemy isn't coming at me because its view was blocked by the pot over there. And now it's dead. I think I managed to grab a metal key, which, as you can see here, opens metal doors. So I'm now able to open that door and grab a stim pack. And now if I select the stim pack and click on use, you will see that my health, which was down a bit, is now going up. And I also got an achievement for that. I can also open that door, which will allow me to grab that sword lying there, and I can now equip the sword. Sorry. And I now wield a giant sword, and it comes with combos, so it's quite powerful. I can run, of course. This here is a teleporter. I can also dash like this, and if you look in the top left corner, you will see that there's a tiny progress bar for that. Of course, all weapons, they consume ammo. In the top right corner, you'll see my ammo depleting as I use it. I just grab a new weapon, which is a shotgun, which has some recoil, as you can see. Boom. Another enemy, quickly dispatched. Another key. I can push stuff around, like so. These enemies are not really clever, but you'll see that the engine allows you to create all sorts of enemies. That's the end of the level, but I'm gonna show you some more stuff before that. Here's another gun, this one, which packs a lot of punch. Grabbed another key. So now I have quite a lot of things in my inventory. Now it's dead. Here's a chest. I can open it, and it gave me some more coins. And finally, some falling platforms. Oh, I pushed myself out of the level. At any time I can press pause to pause the game, which allows me to resume, restart, and go back to level selection. Let's try another demo. This one is an homage, I guess, to Hotline Miami, but in 3D. So I'm a random guy. I can walk around, I can roll like that, and I can grab some weapons. So I'm gonna grab them all, which gives me a cool choice of weapons. So I've got a sniper rifle, assault rifle, shotgun, and handgun. Let's start with that. Each of them has different strengths, velocity, and so on. And this level, as you can see, is packed with enemies that have different AI behaviors. It's quite a complex demo, if you ask me. I'm really bad at my own game, but I can open doors, and enemies are gonna push them around. And this guy saw me, shot at me. Some of them are smarter than the others. Some of them will follow me once they found me, like this guy. He's gonna pass find to my position as long as I'm in range, and he's gonna open that door, and now he's dead. Some guns are really powerful, like this one, and I'm almost dead. A cool thing is you can destroy pretty much everything in the level using all sorts of weapons. You can even crouch to destroy more stuff, like a bed and a lamp. It's really fun. Now I'm going to show you the minimal 3D scene. It's a sandbox. Here I'm playing as the tiny blue cube. I can grab weapons, pretty much the same as in the other one. I can shoot at stuff. As you can see, we have health bars, a complete health system, complete weapon system, complete inventory. It also works with physics, so if I shoot at stuff, sometimes it's gonna fall down and push other stuff. I can push these objects around. Here I have a time zone that will alter the time scale. As you can see, weapons are slowed down, well, the bullets are slowed down when I'm in it. And the time, if you look at the particles over there, if I get out of the time zone, they are at normal speed, half the speed, normal speed. I can collect stuff, of course, that goes into my inventory. Here I have teleporters that will get me from one place to the other. I have moving platforms, and if I jump on it, you see that I can move on the platform, but it's moving me around. I have falling platforms. If I stay on them, they're gonna fall down, like so. I can walk on slopes, so this is like the top of a sphere, and I can handle different sorts of angles. And like I think the limit for this character is 45 degrees, so I can jump on here, and I'm gonna slide down because it's too steep. And yeah. I have the same thing working in 2D as well. So this one is focused on other mechanics, so I have doors. This one can be opened and closed. When it's closed, of course, I cannot pass. This one can be opened, and also this one. Another portal. Going back, a moving platform, which would, allow me to cross holes and stuff. In the bottom over there, I have weapons. Weapons I can use to destroy stuff, and stuff can have any number of health that I want. Another cool thing, here I have a lever, and if I activate it, it's gonna spawn enemies over there at a certain interval of time. And if I press that button again, I stop the spawning. And of course, this will allow me to trigger, doors and moving platforms and spawners and any kind of things, any sort of interactions I can have with my levels. I also have pushable blocks in 2D, and here I can go to another level. So in this level I have a green gate. I can go through the gate, and this is still the same scene. I'm just moving from one part of the scene to another. And I can also go to other levels at certain points in the level, which is going to allow me to create giant dungeons. So I went to this second level and arrived in front of the blue gate. And if I go to the green gate, I'm going to go back to that other level in front of the green gate. So I can now really link levels together. And yeah, what else? We've got pathfinding as well. So in this level I control the blue guy, but if I click somewhere, these AIs, the red ones, they're gonna try to move to the target while avoiding the blocks, the yellow ones that are littered through the thing. And I can try to block them. It's already fun. And of course, this can be used by complex AI scripts to follow you around and all sorts of stuff that we'll see in a minute. And lastly, we have this cool level. This one is going to show you how you can set different AI brains. So this guy, for example, he patrols a set of nodes, aims at me, and if there's a line of sight, he's gonna shoot. So right now he's shooting. I'm invincible in this level, so let's not worry about that. And here I have an enemy that patrols, and if he sees me in his range, he's gonna walk towards me as long as I'm in his range. So I guess I don't have a choice. Here we have an enemy that patrols, and he's gonna move towards me if I'm in range and just not shoot at me. It's just moving. Of course I could customize that any way I want. Behind the yellow walls we have an enemy that patrols and moves towards me, tries to shoot at me, and if he can't find me for 10 seconds, he's gonna go back to patrolling. So he's shooting at me. He's gonna follow me to try to get a shot, and if I manage to hide long enough, 10 seconds, die, he's gonna go back to patrolling. Well, I'm actually really bad at hiding, apparently. Maybe, no. Well, you just have to give it a try yourself. I'm gonna exit play mode now and show you some of the features that are in the engine. So the first thing is, if you're watching this video, and by this point you probably know about the Corgi Engine, which is my previous asset focused on platforming. This one focuses, as you've guessed by now, on top-down games, so games where the action is filmed by a camera from above, whether it's 2D or 3D. And it's very similar to the Corgi Engine in terms of logic, in terms of structure. Of course, these are two completely different gameplays, and I wouldn't use one to do what the other does. But if you're familiar with the engine, the Corgi Engine, you'll probably have a good time using the top-down engine, as it comes with the same architecture, really. Characters have abilities, they have a controller, the game loop, the game managers, the sound managers work pretty much the same. So if you already know one, well, congratulations, you already sort of know the other. So I'm going to show you some random features as we go. I'm going to press play here, and I'm going to switch to the scene view. So as you can see, we have quite a big level. The thing you see moving here is the camera noise. It's actually moving around to give that sort of slight movement. You can of course disable that. It's using Cinemachine, and we have our cameras here, and this is the virtual camera that is filming the scene. The reason it's filming Cinemachine is because really I think it's the best camera solution out there now that it's more or less built in Unity. Thanks to the package manager, it's really cool to use. I have a bunch of dudes walking around. I'm gonna try to grab one. So this one, he's a Ninja Patrol guy. What he does is he's walking around, and if I get into his yellow circle, he's gonna walk at me. And it's got an AI brain, so this is my advanced AI system, and it's really simple to use. It's really you create states and actions and transitions to other states, and you can that way you can move around. And if I enable my path here, I can see the paths that it's patrolling through, and I can move them around in real time, which is really fun. And as you can see, I change its behavior really super simply. I can even trick it and force it to go through obstacles, and in which case it detects the obstacles and go back the other way. So just like the Corgi engine, the TopDown engine is built using Unity's good practices. You'll find that the code quality is, I hope, really good. And it's built using Unity's native APIs and tools as much as possible. So for example, this scene, as you can see, is pixel perfect using Unity's pixel perfect component. So now it's native and built in, which is really cool. And I'm all for using official tools, as much as possible, because they're usually excellent in terms of quality and well documented, and just standard practice in the industry. Also, like the Corgi engine, everything is documented. All the classes are commented. There's an API documentation, of course, but also a full functional documentation. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So it's something like this, and you'll find a full list of everything: how to create your character, how does the advanced AI work. So you get tutorials and references to everything, and you also get a full API documentation. So if you want to know more about the AI action shoot 2D, for example, you'll find its methods and attributes, and you can change the face target, and if that is true, the character will face the target left or right when shooting, and all that kind of stuff. Descriptions. So it's really complete. More video tutorials are coming, so the engine just came out, so really you'll have to wait a bit for more tutorials, but just like the Corgi engine, I'm committed to covering it 100% with videos. And just like the Corgi engine, you get all sorts of cool mechanics. You get achievements, and just like the Corgi engine, the TopDown engine is packed with features and ready to use game mechanics. So you'll get level selection, you get a pause screen, start screen, game over screen, life management, achievements, save and load for your inventories, your progress and everything, splash screen, health system, scene loading manager, all the tools, respawn mechanics, checkpoints, and really a complete gameplay loop. And of course, all that runs super well on mobile, runs super well really on any kind of platform. You can, of course, disable post-processing effects and so on. It's using the V2 stack from Unity. More achievements, yay. And all that can be really easily customized, and the engine is super lightweight. So you may find that some demos run not that good on your device, your specific, iPad or tablet or whatever. Try to run the minimal ones and see how that goes. If it's still slow, then please contact me, but it should be quite smooth. The bigger demos like the Koala one or the Loft might be slower because of all the effects, like this one is calculating rays of light, so on some low-end devices on mobile might be not that good. Just disable them, and you have to, just like for any Unity project, you have to adapt the quantity of stuff that appears on screen to your device and your target, specs. But really the engine behind that is super smooth. thing I would like to show you today is really a passion of mine, which is game feel, the juice that you put in a game so that every action that the character makes is super rewarding and super clear to the player. So for example, when I dash, as you can see, I get a puff of smoke that shows me where the dash initiated. I get particles that show me my trajectory, and I also get a tiny screen shake. Plus, in the top left corner, I get an animation, sort of a progress bar showing the cooldown before I can dash again. And all these details will make your game feel right. All right. So the TopDown engine is built around that idea and tries to simplify your life when you try to make effects like that. So let's say I select my koala. Here I have my dash ability, and I'm going to focus on my tiny koala somewhere here. And in my dash ability, I'll be able to change, gameplay values such as the distance. Let's make it twice as big, and the duration. Let's make it super slow. All right. So now when I dash, I'm going further but slower. All right. So this is to be expected, and this is really classic. But here I have a feedback drop down, and let me show you how it works. If I open my character dash class here, I can see that here I have a public feedback declaration for a feedback variable, and it's only that one line, and it's getting used over there when I'm in my dash start method. So I'm dashing, I'm starting to move, and I just do a feedback.play. So it's really as simple as, let's say, playing a sound. But what it does, with only these two lines, I get in my inspector all this, and you can use that in any of the classes you will create, and it's already built in weapons, in dashes, and all that stuff. And what it does is it allows me to optionally, and I can choose to enable, disable, whatever I want. I can update an animator saying, okay, every time this feedback is played, and I could have more than one feedback in one class, of course. When this feedback is played, and so for example, just to explain, I could have dash started feedback and the dash ended feedback if I wanted to make things more epic. So I could update an animator, passing it a trigger or boolean parameter. I could have particles, so right now they're driven differently, but they could be driven by that. I could instantiate a VFX or really an object. I could spawn characters at will using an object pool if I want. To even more optimize things, I could play sounds. Right now I'm shaking the camera, but I could also zoom the camera. I have a freeze frame, so right now it's super subtle, but let's make it a bit more obvious. Now I get a 0.2 seconds freeze frame every time I dash. I can modify the time scale. So maybe I'm going to put it to 0.5 for 1 second, and I'm going to load that by a speed of 10. So now every time I dash, I slow down time. You can see it by looking at the teleporter here. It's slowed down and it's back to full speed again. So it can be really fun to maybe, you have a dash ability a la Max Payne where you jump and you slow down time and you can shoot at enemies easier. I have Chromatic Aberration as well. So let's say now every time I dash, as you can see here, I get some nice Chromatic Aberration for the duration specified. Let's make it 1 second. If you look at the door over there, it's all distorted, or really the whole screen. And I can also have a flash, and this can be of any color I want, so maybe let's make it purple. Like that, and now I get a purple flash. I can of course change the duration of the flash as well. Well, of course it's better if it's short, I guess. can change the alpha. And let's say I want some more shake, so I'm going to increase the amplitude and probably also the duration of the camera shake, and now I get a bigger camera shake. And if I make it 1, I get a giant camera shake. So really using simple checkboxes, you see no code involved except from triggering the play of the feedback. You can give your game a lot of game feel, and in my opinion that's one of the successes, the recipes for success for a really cool game. I hope you will like the TopDown engine, and I'll see you soon for another tutorial. Thank you, bye.